Revelation 825. From the 23rd of March 1939. Dabbling of the Underworld. Stubborn God Deniers. Words of love continue to come to you, and well-meaning beings unite to make you receptive and prepare you to receive the teachings from above. And so you hear also today an exceedingly important teaching, which is to give you information about the goings-on of the underworld, by which everything is to be understood which rebels against the good spirit beings and strives to work against them. These beings especially avoid all opportunities which could serve them for higher development, and their constant intention is to draw what is not yet in dark night into their spell circle, and so to increase the crowd of the apostates from God. Thus it seems as if the number of dark beings increases immeasurably, because the earth and its inhabitants resist the efforts of the good spirit beings and turn away from God more and more. Now, however, this dark power also has a limit where its power can no longer work, and this is always the case when spiritually mature beings take care of people especially lovingly, so that equally strong good forces oppose the efforts of the bad forces, and their effects on people can be felt, even if not completely successful, but still putting a stop to the evil activities. So there is a particularly fierce struggle between the good and the bad spiritual beings in the present time of spiritual distress, but the power of love outweighs that of hate. And this is of blessing for the erring souls. Thus a man who becomes weak in spirit in a certain ignorance will be especially lovingly protected by his spiritual friends, and it will not be easy work for the adversary to draw him into his spell. On the other hand, the stubborn denier of God, who has had countless opportunities to acquire knowledge of spiritual truths, will be in the greatest danger. For the dark power seizes him with all cunning and seeks to strengthen the will of rejection in him still further, and to deprive him of all understanding of spiritual truths in order to get him all the more firmly under its control. And it will therefore be considerably easier for an earthly person who is not particularly knowledgeable to reach God and knowledge than for an arrogant representative of the deniers of God who is convinced of his knowledge but disregards the commandments of God. The enemy tries to get hold of him, and there also the good spiritual world is powerless, because such a man voluntarily enters into the supremacy of evil and thus does not give permission to the helpful spiritual forces to take care of him, and without the intervention of the man through his will, an attempt to save him cannot be carried out, and so this man has to bear his spiritual misery alone. He must either try to free himself from the fetters of the enemy, or he is a hopeless slave to him until unthinkable times. Amen.